So we have a beautiful exponential equation here, and we have to solve for x. Kindly follow for more interesting math tips. Now this equation is an exponential equation, so the variable we are to solve for, that is x, is in this equation as an exponent, but it is not alone. In the first term, we can see 2 is being multiplied by the x, and in the second term, we can see 2 is being added to x. In the third term, we can see we have 1 added to x. Okay, so what we do here is we have to make sure we have only x as an exponent of the base 3. So in the first term, we have to factor 2 out to get something like what I have written here, 3x2. What I have written here is the same as this. These 2 multiplies x, and we have our 2x back. So nothing has changed. In this term, we separate 2 from x, and we end up getting something like 3x times 3 raised to the power 2. 3 raised to the power x times 3 raised to the power 2. You see, when two bases are being multiplied and they are the same, we add the exponents, and that is how come they got this. So 3 exponent x multiplied by 3 exponent 2, because the bases are the same, we can add the exponent and we get what is here. So nothing has changed. So this is equal to 3 exponent 1 times 3 exponent x minus 27. So in this term too, nothing has changed. 3 times 3 exponent 1 times 3 exponent x, because the bases are the same, we add the exponent and we get what is in the original equation. So nothing has changed. Now we can see we have x, only x, okay, as an exponent of 3. 3 exponent x, 3 exponent x, 3 exponent x. So we can see 3 exponent x is common. So what we do here is we represent 3 exponent x by a variable to make the equation more easier to solve. So we let 3 exponent x equals a variable of your choice, any variable. So in this case, I choose y. So wherever we see 3 exponent x in the equation, we put y there. Okay, so that becomes y squared. We put y here, and then we bring the squared. So we have y squared minus, we put that here. That is 3x, okay? So we put y here. And you can see that this 3 exponent x is multiplying 3 squared. 3 squared is 9. So that will be y times 9. Okay, you can put the dot there. It is the same. So that is y for the 3x dot. That is the times. 3 squared, that is 9, is equal to 3 dot y minus 27. Okay, so this becomes y squared minus 9y, that is 9 times y. 9y is equal to 3y minus 27. Once we have the square here, you can see we have a quadratic equation to solve. So we have to simplify. We group all the terms on the left side of the equation, and then we simplify and solve for y. So that will be y squared minus 9y. We send this 3 here, it becomes negative 3y here. This is negative 27, we send it here, it becomes positive 27, and everything equals 0. So we have a quadratic equation to solve. A quadratic equation to solve. So we have y squared minus 12y plus 27 equals 0. So what we do here is we look for two numbers that can multiply, or that we can multiply to get 27, and when they are being added or subtracted, we get the middle term negative 12. And we can see we have negative 3 and negative 9. Okay, because we know that when we add negative 9 to negative 3, we get negative 12. Negative 12. And then when we multiply negative 9 by negative 3, we get the positive 27 here. Okay, so we fixed, or we put in negative 9 and negative 3 into the equation. So what we have here is y squared minus 3y minus 9y plus 27. Okay, so even at this point, you can see what we have here is the same as what we have here. So at this point, if you are smart enough, you can just go ahead and factorize for y. Okay, and factorize the equation and solve for y. So what we do here is, for the first two terms, we look for the common factor there. We have y squared y, so we can see y is a common factor. So we put y outside the bracket, we put y here, y times y, that gives the y squared, minus, we put 3 here, okay, because y times minus 3 gives the minus 3y in this equation. We close it and we bring what we have here. Now we have 9 and 27, and the common factor is 9. Okay, 9. As soon as we are able to find the common factor for the second part of the equation, we just repeat what we have in this bracket here, because the bracket must be the same when factorizing quadratic equation. The two brackets, what we have in there must be the same. So we can see that minus 9 times y gives the minus 9y here, and then minus 9 times positive 3 gives the minus 9 times negative 3 gives the positive 27 we have in this equation. Okay, so we pick one of the same brackets, and then we pick the terms outside the bracket equals 0. So y and minus 9 is what we have here, and then we pick one of this here. So we pick the first bracket, equate it to 0, and solve for y. That means y is equal to 3. We pick the second bracket, equate it to 0, and solve for y. So that means y is equal to 9. Good. Now, let's not forget that at this point we wrote something here. Let 3 exponent x is equal to y. Now we know the values of y. So we pick the first value of y and fix it here. And then we go ahead and solve for the original variable x. So it implies that 3x is equal to, but yeah, we put but here. Now we know y is equal to 3 and y is equal to 9, but 3 exponent x is equal to y. So we rewrite that here, but 3 exponent x is equal to y. So that implies that 3 exponent x is equal to 3. That is the first solution for y. Now we can see we have 3 here, 3 here. And this 3 is having an exponent of 1. Because the base is the same, then the exponents are also the same. So therefore, x is equal to 1. And for the second part, we have 3x, or 3 exponent x is equal to 9. We have to rewrite 9 in such a way that it has a base of 3 so that we can compare the powers. So 3 exponent x is equal to 3 squared. Because the bases are the same, we can now say x is equal to 2. So therefore, x is equal to 1 and then 2. Thank you. Thank you for following. God bless you.